For 4 billion years, gravity has held everything together. The oceans, the atmosphere, your body, the bones in your feet. It is the only force you never feel, because it never lets go. Now imagine this. No warning, no countdown, no sound. Gravity disappears. The air lifts. The oceans rise. Cities unpin themselves from the ground, and every living thing on Earth is suddenly unanchored. In less than 1 second, the planet begins to come apart. This is not science fiction. This is physics. And for the next 60 minutes, the world becomes something unrecognizable. If this kind of question pulls at your curiosity, if you find yourself wondering how fragile reality really is, then you already belong here. Subscribe and continue exploring the forces, the mysteries, and the hidden mechanics that shape our world, long before we ever notice them. For 4.5 billion years, gravity has held everything together. Not just the mountains, not just the oceans, not just the air in your lungs. It holds your blood in your body, your feet on the ground, the moon in its path, the planet in its shape. It is the only force you never feel, because it never lets go. Now imagine this. No warning, no countdown, no sound. Gravity disappears. In less than a heartbeat, the world becomes unrecognizable. The air lifts. The oceans begin to rise. And every living thing on Earth is suddenly unanchored. This is not fantasy. This is physics. And for the next 60 minutes, the planet is no longer a planet. It is debris. The moment gravity stops, there is no explosion, no flash of light, no tremor, just silence. And then, release. Dust lifts from the ground like breath leaving a body. Loose stones rise. Leaves, sand, and fragments of debris begin to float. People stumble as their weight vanishes, arms flailing as instinct searches for a ground that is no longer holding them. Inside buildings, objects drift from desks. Chairs tilt. Papers bloom into the air like pale birds. Within seconds, the first screams begin. Not from pain, from confusion. The human brain is not built for this. Your inner ear, which tells you where down is, has lost its reference. Blood shifts upward. Vision blurs. Nausea arrives instantly. And above the cities, something else is happening. The atmosphere, no longer pinned to the planet, begins to expand. Slowly at first, then faster. Oxygen, nitrogen, water vapor, everything that makes breathing possible, starts to drift upward, thinning with every second. You cannot see it, but the sky is already leaving. The sky lifts away. To understand what happens next, you need one simple truth. Gravity is the only reason Earth has an atmosphere. Without it, the air does not fall. It escapes. At ground level, the change feels subtle at first. Breathing becomes strange, lighter, incomplete, as if the air is losing substance. Then the pressure drops. Windows shatter. Eardrums strain. Lungs fight for oxygen that is no longer staying put. Every breath delivers less than the last. High above, the blue edge of the sky begins to fade. From orbit, the planet's halo grows thinner, stretched like silk. Clouds unravel. Jet streams dissolve. The weather dies. And with it, something far heavier begins to move. The oceans. When the seas let go. Water is heavy, trillions of tons of it. It has only ever known one direction, down. Now it hesitates. The surface of the ocean ripples, not from wind, but from indecision. Then slowly, as if waking, the water begins to rise. Not as waves, as sheets. Entire sections of sea lift from the surface, pulling upward in massive, shimmering curtains. Whales, ships, reefs, and wrecks ascend together, bound by nothing. Coastlines unravel. Harbors empty. Ports become cavities. From space, Earth no longer looks blue. It looks wounded. Ribbons of water arc away from the planet, breaking into drifting spheres that catch the light like glass. Rivers reverse. Lakes peel from their beds. Moisture leaves the soil. Forests dry in minutes. The planet is bleeding itself into space, and the people are still floating. The human body without gravity. Inside you, gravity is order. It tells blood where to go. It tells organs where to sit. It gives bones something to push against. When it vanishes, your body becomes confused. Blood rushes to the head. The face swells. Pressure builds behind the eyes. Vision narrows. The brain struggles to regulate itself. Within minutes, many lose consciousness. Not because of fear, because the system cannot adapt. Muscles weaken instantly. Without resistance, they lose tension. The heart beats, but the blood no longer behaves. The lungs move, but the air is thinning. Orientation disappears. Up and down lose meaning. Panic spreads, silent and absolute. In hospitals, patients lift from beds. In airplanes, cabins become weightless chambers. In elevators, cables go slack. Across the world, gravity has been the invisible architect of every design, every assumption, and now nothing works. Cities in freefall. Buildings were never designed to float. They are balanced, weighted, pressed into the ground by their own mass. Remove that pressure, and the stress reveals itself. Skyscrapers twist as internal forces redistribute. Glass fractures. Concrete cracks. Entire sections shear away, drifting like continental ice. Bridges bend, then fold. Their cables lose tension. Their decks curl. Vehicles rise from roads. Trains leave tracks. Power lines float like black veins in open air. Inside nuclear plants, cooling systems fail as fluids move where they were never meant to go. In data centers, servers tear loose from racks. In factories, machinery unpins itself. The world's infrastructure was built on one assumption: that down exists. Now it does not. And far below, the planet itself is changing shape. When the Earth loses its form, gravity does more than hold things down. It holds the planet together. Without it, the Earth is no longer compressed into a sphere. The crust relaxes. The mantle shifts. Pressure is released. Deep underground, magma begins to move. Not violently, freely. Tectonic plates drift without friction. Fault lines open. Entire regions lift as the weight above them vanishes. Volcanoes behave unpredictably. Some go silent. Others vent continuously, gas escaping upward into a sky that is no longer there to catch it. The moon, no longer bound, begins to drift away. Slowly, gently, but undeniably. Tides vanish. The last connection between Earth and its oldest companion is breaking. The planet is becoming something else. Not a home, a memory. The middle of the hour. 30 minutes in, and the world is no longer recognizable. The atmosphere is thin. Breathing is labored. Many have already lost consciousness. Others cling to structures, to walls, to each other, desperately trying to orient themselves in a reality with no direction. The oceans are now suspended around the planet in vast, broken halos. Ice sheets have lifted. Entire ecosystems float, intact but doomed. From space, Earth looks like a shattered jewel, shedding pieces of itself into the dark. And still, the hour continues. The return. There is no warning. One moment, weightless. The next, everything falls. The air slams back first, collapsing onto the planet in a violent rush. Winds ignite instantly, moving faster than any hurricane, compressing, roaring, tearing. Water follows. Entire oceans crash back down, not as waves, but as walls. Continents are struck. Valleys flood in seconds. Coastlines vanish. Cities are hit by debris falling from every direction. Buildings collapse under returning stress. Structures that survived the lift do not survive the impact. In the sky, aircraft drop. Satellites re-enter. Debris rains, and every living thing is pulled down with sudden, brutal force. Bones strain. Muscles tear. The body is not prepared for instant weight. It is not a landing. It is an impact. The aftermath. When the hour ends, gravity is back, but the world is not. The atmosphere is damaged, thinner, altered. Some of it never returned. The oceans are redistributed, flooded inland, lost in space. Ecosystems are broken, species gone, entire food chains collapsed. Cities are ruins, infrastructure is fractured, power grids are gone. Communication is silent, and humanity is reduced. Not extinct, but wounded beyond measure. The survivors emerge into a world reshaped by absence. By 1 hour, without the force that made everything possible. What this reveals: gravity is not background. It is structure. It is memory. It is the reason the planet looks like a planet, the reason life has shape, the reason you are not drifting right now. We spend our lives fearing visible threats: storms, earthquakes, fire, war. But the most important force in your life is the one you never notice, because it never leaves, unless it does. For billions of years, gravity has held the world together without recognition, without ceremony, without pause. It has shaped every mountain, every ocean, every heartbeat. And if it were gone, even briefly, nothing you know would remain. If you want to continue exploring the hidden forces that shape our world and the fragile systems that keep us alive, subscribe to Silent Secrets and join us as we uncover what reality rarely reveals. Because some truths are not loud, they are fundamental. And once you see them, you never see the world the same way again.